What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, Sealz the man. Thank you for coming back. I was going through some of my comments the other day, and one of you beautiful people was like, "Man, I miss when you used to do that intro." So I'm gonna get back to it. So thank you for saying that. You know, I was thinking about my next video topic and something that would give y'all value, and I started to think about the lessons I've learned. And let me tell you something. I started to think about my past relationships, the lessons I learned from my past relationships, coming from the mindset of a man that I would like to let y'all know, and hopefully it can give y'all value in some way in y'all relationships and in y'all lives. So the first thing I'm gonna say is, the first lesson that I learned, probably one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned, was that if you're not going to go all in, do not go at all. If you're not going to go all in, do not do it. If you are not going to commit, do not come here. You see how commit, when you split it up, is come, commit, come. Like, don't go if you're not going to go all for it. And that was a big mistake that I made in my past relationships. I would go in with fear. I would go in with hesitation. I would go in with doubt because I didn't feel like I didn't deserve the relationship at the time, or I didn't feel like I was ready, or I didn't feel like I was worthy, or I didn't feel like I could fully trust her, or I already thought that it was going to end. Like, I had so many thoughts in my head that preceded my relationship. Like, I was going into relationships with failure already on my mind because my thoughts overran the reality. And because of that, I did not go 100% in those relationships. Some I went 90%, some I went 75%. But if you are not going to go 100%, don't do it at all, because most times it's never going to end in your favor. One thing with me is that when I get into a relationship with a beautiful woman, I want to be with this woman forever. I want this to be a forever thing. I'm already thinking about marriage. I'm already thinking about if I can see you as my wife. I'm already thinking about creating a family with you. If I can see myself creating a family with you, how you will be with me and children, how we will be together, building the empire together. I'm already thinking about those things when I fully commit to a relationship. But if a man is not going into a relationship thinking about those things, thinking about the future and the present, if a man is not preparing himself for those things, if he's not talking to you in those tenses, then he is not going 100%. There may be some hesitation, like the things I brought up before. There may be some distrust in himself or you. There may be some seasoned doubts. There is something that is keeping that person back from going all full in. Do not waste your time, and do not waste theirs. If you're going to go into something, jump full body deep in the 8-foot pool. Hopefully you can swim. Oh gosh. Listen, disclaimer. Don't do that if you can't swim, all right? Man, I'm about to make some of y'all drops. I'm sorry. Let's go to the next big lesson that I learned from my past relationships, coming from the mind of a man. And that is, I had to learn that love comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes, but the core elements remain the same. Love will come in all different types of colors and spectrums, all different types of size and weight, all different types of tones. Sometimes love will come at you easy, but sometimes it will come at you when you're in a hard or a dark place. Sometimes love will bloom fast, while some love develops more maturely and slowly. Love comes in all types of formats, but guess what never changes? The core, the essence. The basics, the foundations don't change. Love is love. And I had to learn this because I used to classify love as one thing. The one thing that I was used to. The one thing that I was familiar with. Growing up, I was shown love in a different way. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, real specific. I was shown a lot of hard love, a lot of tough love, because I was in a survival mode growing up where I was. And I'm not saying it was all bad and chaotic and tribal or nothing like that, but in my upbringing, I had to fight for everything I had, and everyone around me was fighting for everything they had. Therefore, we were all in some kind of survival mode. And that survival mode brings out a different type of love. You need a specific type of love for survivors that caters to that type of person and what they're going through and what they're trying to accomplish. But as my life going on and went on, and I got into newer relationships, I looked for that same type of survival love in my new relationships, and the woman that I was with wasn't a survivor. She didn't have to go through those things that I went through. So the love that she showed me, I was not used to. But the problem with that at that time, as I was less developed and less mature and unfamiliar with this type of love, it confused me. It made me question her. It even made me question myself, like, what is this you're showing me? I'm not used to this. I've never seen this before. She showed me a soft love, a very, how do I explain it? Free love, like butterflies in the stomach type of love. I was never used to that type of love. And that created a problem in our relationship. And that's on me. But as me right now, the Sealz the man that is present day right now, that is why I am emphasizing on this lesson that I feel like y'all should know, is that love comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes, but the core elements remain the same. My tough love had the same core and elements that her soft and nurturing love had, but it just had a different shell, had a different face, it had a different color. But when you open it up and you go inside to the center, that core was the same as mine. But I did not make the effort to find that out. That was my mistake. That was one of my biggest lessons from my past relationship. Another huge and interesting lesson that I learned from my past relationships was that when I took God out of my relationships always disintegrated. When I lost sight of my faith in my relationships, somehow, some way, they all started to break down. And now when I'm thinking about those moments in those relationships that I had, I noticed that there were certain times in my past relationships where I would almost put all my trust in her, or put all my focus on her, or on our relationship, on us. There were some times in my relationships where I thought I was the man. I had a good woman by my side. I was doing good. I was making money. We were happy. And I started to decrease my focus on the thing that got me here, on the one who blessed me with her in our happy and booming relationship at the time, right? I started to forget where I came from. And I noticed when I used to do that, I didn't know this at that time, but now I'm thinking about it, when I used to lose that focus and stop attributing my happiness to him, my relationship started to get cracks. Little problems and issues would happen. And now that booming and happy relationship that I had started to break down real fast. And now I'm back to the bottom, and now I'm praying and talking to God more when I'm at the bottom of my relationship. You see, I learned that I had to keep God at the forefront of my relationships always. When I'm doing good, when we're doing good, when we're doing bad, when we're doing okay. I cannot lessen my love and appreciation for God just because I feel like I'm doing good. That was a big mistake that I made. And I learned that relationships that are not based on faith, that are not based on a solid structure, something that is bigger than us, something that we could depend on when we don't have it. Relationships that don't have that usually fail, because you should never put all your trust in man. Man is going to break down. Man is going to fail you. Man is going to lie. Man is going to have error. Man is going to die. Why put your all in something that is temporary? And when I realized that I didn't put my forever thing into a forever source, I lost that forever status. And now my forever relationship has ended. If you do not place your relationship on something whole and strong and limitless, if you forget the source of your blessings, trust and believe you will lose that blessing. Huge lesson. I want y'all to understand that. Another lesson I had to learn, and I'm still learning, but I'm way better than I used to be, is that there is a difference between facts and opinions. And this is very important when it comes to men and women, because you know, a lot of men, most men are logical. A lot of women, most women are based on their feelings and emotional stature. So for me, because I was such a logical man, I'm better now. It was all about facts for me. So I was not really good on listening to opinions because I did not care, because 1 + 1 = 2. This is the fact, right? What I realized is dealing with women, that is not the case. That is not how y'all are wired. And I had to sacrifice and sit down and be quiet, shut up, and be open to learning about y'all. I had to be open to learning about women, because I was realizing that I was treating my girl like my friends, like my homies. I was treating her like a man, because I was just basing everything on facts, not considering her feelings, not considering her makeup and her personality and how she think. The reason why she compliments me, because she's not logical. I had to learn all those things. And this is a lesson that I want a lot of men out there to understand. You are not your girlfriend, and your girlfriend is not you. Purposely. That's a good thing. So do not make that a thing. All right. Another thing when it comes to opinions and facts in a relationship is that I had to understand that you should never treat opinions like facts, and you should never treat facts like opinions. You should never treat one like the other. Treat facts like facts and opinions like opinions. So, for example, if I'm giving you an opinion, it is not a fact. Therefore, I should not be treating my opinion as a fact. And when people do that, what Sealz used to do in his past relationships was that I would get mad at her because she didn't align with my opinion. She didn't agree to my opinion. She was trying to debate my opinion. And I'm thinking like, bruh, this is what it is. This is how I feel, right? I was treating it like a fact. But guess what? It wasn't. And on the flip side, when there are facts, do not present them like they're opinions. Do not present your facts as question. Like, this is fact? Like, maybe? No, don't be loose when you present facts to your partner. Be strong when you're presenting your facts. When you're presenting your truth, be strong in that, because that is real. That is a reality. It is what it is when it comes to facts, right? So I had to remember that you got to have two separate mindsets when it comes to facts and opinions in relationships. Another interesting lesson that I learned from a past relationship was that everyone is not going to like your relationship. Everyone isn't going to like your union. And that includes your family, your best friends, your circle. So you have to be careful where you get your advice from when it comes to your relationship. And you also have to be careful who you talk to about your relationship with. People might smile and hug you and clap and congratulate you for your relationship or your marriage, but you do not know their true intentions. You do not know their true feelings about y'all. And that's why privacy is such an important thing when it comes to relationships. Your relationship should not be on Front Street. It should not be on the front page of the newspaper. There are certain things your friends and your family should not know about your relationships. And it's hard, right? Because sometimes you're in such a happy relationship and you're so happy and jolly and just thankful that it's easy to just talk about all the good things in your relationships to everybody who are willing to listen, right? It's easy to do that. People love talking about things that make them feel happy. But this is what I suggest. Put a filter on it. Be picky with what you release from your relationship into the outer world, because you just never know. And I got some stories for that, but I won't say it because they might be watching, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. Be careful, all right? So thank you for rocking out with your guy, Sealz the Man, tonight. And I appreciate y'all for always coming back to my videos. I will see you on my next video. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.